Hi, welcome back. This short interesting video is on Obanosa, Ogbebo, Osemede, and Adolo, respectively. If we were to actually discuss these four different Oba, I don't think 20 long videos will be enough to discuss them adequately. All right, but I hate to bore you with information that you can find anywhere, things that you can easily find. So this video is to reveal some very interesting things about these four Oba, especially the realizations of their titular name, or the background to the realizations of their titular names. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Ezomo Kakadu. I welcome you to my page. Now, for the purpose of this video, it will not be complete to start off with Obanosa, or talk about these four different Oba without first of all making a quick reference to the father of Obanosa. That is the person of Oba Akenbuda. Now, in our history, Oba Akenbuda is recorded as the longest reigned Oba. He spent 54 good years on the throne, and that was from 1750 to 1804. Because he spent the longest time, his son, that is the Edaiken or Oko Nohua, is also recorded in our history as the longest Oba in waiting. Some of you might have heard maybe some historical account where a particular prince or Edaiken would remove a piece or a strand of gray hair from his head and send to his father, and his father would also respond appropriately. Some of you might have heard this historical event. All right, so it was actually Oba Akenbuda and his son, or his Edaiken Oko or Edaiken Osifo. Osifo was growing old, and his father was still on the throne. Oganowa Komot. So he began to wonder when his father was going to pass so that he too would become Oba. So what Osifo would do then was to remove a strand of gray hair sent to his father. And in reply or response, his father, Oba Akenbuda, would take Orwe, grind it, add some salt, and send to his son as well. So the implication of this communication is when Oko Osifo sends a strand of gray hair from his head to his father, it is to remind his father that, Baba, I'm not growing any younger. I'm growing very old. So when is it going to be my turn? And when it comes to my turn eventually, if it does, how long am I going to stay on the throne? So what his father, Oba Akenbuda, did in response was to take Oro, that is white chalk, grind it, add some salt, and send to his son, asking his son to taste it and see how sweet life is. So what do you expect me to do? Should I go and nias you koroa? So that was the communication. Now, it is recorded by a very few historians. I've actually read this from just one historian, that when it was time, Oba Akenbuda had to leave the throne for his son. He actually didn't pass before his son Osifo mounted the throne. So it is said, it is recorded that he left the throne and relocated to Ogbenalaka, that is Ogbelaka, while his son mounted the throne. So Osifo, Oko or Edaiken Osifo, became Oba while Oba Akenbuda was still alive. In 1804, Osifo was crowned as Obanosa. But understand that before he was crowned, while his father was still on the throne, that is, Oba Akenbuda was still reigning, because he was very old and weak and probably senile, the chiefs and elders used to invite Osifo to the palace to come and handle some very sensitive cases. And there was never a time Osifo was invited and didn't leave the chiefs and elders baffled. His wisdom was impeccable. The way he handled these cases always baffled the chiefs and the elders. So it is because of this and his personality that earned him the nickname Obanosa. In simple translation, that would be God King. And that, of course, like I just said, is born from how he handled cases, the amount of wisdom, the level of wisdom that he possessed. So the chiefs and the elders used to refer to him as Obanosa. So when he was crowned, he decided to retain that name as his titular name, Obanosa. All through Obanosa's reign, his greatest rival was one handsome young man, one very handsome and cute young guy like this, very handsome, But the funny thing is, he had resemblance with Obanosa. He looked just like Obanosa. Understand that Obanosa was another handsome man, very fine guy too, so that people saw the striking resemblance. They described them as lookalikes. The name of this man, or this young man, was Osopahara. Osopahara had actually been a rival to Obanosa even before he became Oba. And Obanosa never failed to publicly tell people how he was going to deal with Osopahara when he became king. Osopahara was the son of the then Chief Esogban of Benin Kingdom. And aside being the son of Chief Esogban, he was the head of a very dreaded and popular witches' coven, then known as Eniwanso. Osopahara went as far as nicknaming himself Obason, that is, the king or Oba of the night, all just to aggravate Obanosa. Now it is also recorded that Osopahara had an affair with the mother of Obanosa, that is Iyoba Ose. Now to keep this story short, one fateful day, Obanosa ordered the execution of Osopahara, and this brought a lot of chaos, anarchy, protest in the capital, in Benin City. It is said that this led to the unaliving of about 5,000 people. It is this event that the Edo people record in history as Okpuge, in simple translation, the Great Spectacle. However, it is recorded that immediately Osopahara was executed, Obanosa fell ill. Not too long from then, Iyoba Ose was publicly executed in a palace at Uselu as well. He was stoned to death with a sorwe, that is, white chalk. Some accounts say that the order was given by his son Obanosa, while some other accounts say that the oracle ordered it. Obanosa passed on not too long after he buried his mother. In 1816, Ogbebo, the second son of Obanosa, took advantage of the instability, the chaos in the kingdom, and with the help of some very powerful and corrupt chiefs, usurped the throne. And once Ogbebo became Oba, he quickly consolidated power so that his brother, that is his elder brother, Ediawa, who was the rightful heir to the throne, felt threatened and had to run for his life. So he left the capital, he left Benin City and took refuge in the eastern part of the empire, precisely Ewohimi. It was only 8 months later, some Esan Enige, the Ezomo of Benin Kingdom at that time, Ebo, and the people of Uselu backed up Ediawa, fought Oba Ogbebo, and they defeated his army. So the throne was recovered from Ogbebo the same year, only 8 months later. This is to say that Oba Ogbebo spent only 8 months on the Benin throne. But something interesting is Oba Ogbebo did not give up just like that.